Hello and welcome back to my channel, guys. This is your mentor Sanyukta Singh, and in today's session I'm going to talk about core topics for creative, and this analysis I have made keeping in mind the questions of previous year. Now, if you are a design aspirant and if you are preparing for NIFT, you know your exams are on 8th February and PYQs are something everybody is solving. Like students are solving from 2011 and then 12, 15, 16, 20, 25. So all these years, like 15 years, the questions have also evolved. Like there were questions previously which were based on a very detailed grid system, but last year the grid question which we got was entirely different from what it was asked in 2011. So I have done an analysis of 4-5 years, and then these topics have been listed out which you must practice before entering that examination center. So let's move forward, guys. Now, I'm going to talk about the first topic, and you need to do the practice on object-based creativity. Now, in 2022 and 24 and 25, there were questions like broken cup, how are you going to use that? How unconventionally you are going to use that? Clock, CDs, discarded CDs, how are you going to use them? Like, are you going to make some chandelier or any decorative item from these CDs which have been discarded very long back? Waste fabric, like in our everyday, like if we talk about our household and like normal things, sometimes our socks are of no use, or sometimes our denims are of no use, or maybe some cutlery or a oil container. So how are you going to use them even? Now here it is only about waste fabric, but everyday objects में तो सब कुछ आ जाएगा. Now ये जो area है, इससे already the questions have been asked in 2022, 24 and 25. If you go through the previous year papers, you'll get to know the questions even. And again, in my upcoming sessions, I'll be bringing for you like last 4-5 years questions solutions too, so that you'll be able to go through all of them in one video only. Although on my channel these videos have already been uploaded. Now, what students must prepare keeping in mind this area: creative reuse of objects, how are you going to use them unconventionally? Also we can call it alternate use, like how are you going to use the truck tires if they are discarded? There are many discarded autos, there are many discarded cars even. So how are you going to use them? So you need to think about that. And then non-conventional thinking, sustainable angles. Now huge bonus will be given to them who give whose designs will speak about the sustainable angle. So these all areas you must go through, like futuristic design, sustainable design, product designs, evolvement. तो ये आपको काम करना पड़ेगा इस पे, एंड ये 3 एरियाज है जहां पे आपको काम करना पड़ेगा ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ ऑब्जेक्ट बेस्ड क्रिएटिविटी, जिससे क्वेश्चंस आते हैं. नाउ हियर ऑन दिस साइड यू कैन आल्सो सी वन ऑफ आवर मॉक्स answers of one student where this grater have been used unconventionally as a pen stand. You can also use this grater in the form of a lighting fixture too. So you have to think very innovatively, and then you'll have to present your solution according to that. NIFT is going to give you 2 sides of one paper, like front and back, and so that you can always show your ideation and concept on one side and the major design on the other side. Moving forward to the next topic, which could be sustainability and social issue based, and it's very important. Now repeated in 2022, waste fabric and clean air topics were there, from where the question were asked. 2024 and 2025, reuse future products. These were the areas from where the questions were asked. We all know that there are 3 questions for NIFT which is asked, you know. So all these 3 questions come from the different areas. So these all are the possible areas which you need to do practice before entering that examination hall. So topics to practice: sustainability basics, recycling and upcycling, clean air, water, waste, and social design responsibilities. So always, if you're doing a poster or a stamp or maybe a magazine cover page, so talk about the social issues. Always work on these topics because NIFT usually goes asks these topics. Moving forward, these are some of the examples of the questions that can be from social responsibility or design or upcycling or recycling. So these are some of the solutions on how breast cancer awareness poster is going to be. Look at the background and the foreground color, look at the typography, look at the alignment and the layout. Everything is very important when we talk about composition. And same, this is one of the questions which was it was asked in, I guess, 2024 or 23 about Go Green. I did purposely I've put this picture here to show you all, so that you can avoid the spelling mistakes which you can see here: plant, more, trees. So you need to avoid these. Gift fresh air, the way it is written, the way the typography has been used and the colors, you need to avoid these if you really want to score well, because these questions usually come of 30 to 40 marks. If moving forward, the questions from sequence and storytelling is must. So there are questions from process drawing as well. There are questions from storyboards and comic strips as well. But not every year from here questions come. So you need to keep in mind that. And in 2022, apple from fresh to rotten, this question was asked. Now previously this question was always asked in the form of grid, but now in the form of process drawing this question was asked. So multiple years scene based storytelling questions were there, both for masters and for bachelors in design. So you need to take care that you should practice these storytelling questions, and you should practice these questions as well: how a plant grows, the life cycle of the flower or a plant or any fruit, kind of journey of a product, transformation of a place, pollution solution story. We always talk about Delhi pollution, we always talk about many other disasters and social issues. What could be the possible solution? Always think about that, because questions related to these areas can always come. Now, for example, these are some of the works of our students. This is a comic strip. You can figure it out with the dialogue boxes and the dialogues written over it. This is the question of the rotting of the apple, which was asked in 2022, and this is some of the scenario based questions. So perspective, composition, this is something must, which you must practice, because this can definitely come. And if you love to do colors and if you are able to do your time management, definitely you should go with colors. Moving forward, the next area could be futuristic thinking and imagination. The questions were there in 2024 and 25. Futuristic insect product based question. It was asked last year, I guess. In 2023 it was asked. No, 2024 NIFT in creative, this question was of futuristic insect was asked, and then the questions related to artificial products or future or life. So futuristic is something from where the questions are usually asked, not only in NIFT but in NID also, and in UCEED and CEED also. So must prepare areas are futuristic products, future products, how the bags are going to be for kids, how the umbrella is going to be, how the shoes are going to be. One of such question solution is here, which you can see. And it is for the disabled person. So the target audience for whom you are making that product, you have to mention the area and the name, because concept and idea generation, the whole storytelling always relies on for what purpose you are making certain design. So not only the sketching is important, but expressing and explaining the idea behind it is also important. Moving forward, there can be questions from product and gift designs. So memento design, this was one of the questions that was asked in 2022. Gift concepts, packaging and wrapping paper. So these all areas can come, and it has already come in the previous years. So this is one of the solutions of my student, how she has designed the packaging of this bottle. और तो यहाँ पे इसको इस तरीके से शो किया गया है, तो आप भी अपने इनोवेटिव वे से इसकी पैकेजिंग डिजाइन कर सकते हैं. तो पैकेजिंग रिलेटेड क्वेश्चंस भी आपके एग्जाम में आ सकता है. टॉपिक्स टू कवर: प्रोडक्ट एंड पर्पस, टारगेट यूजर, ओकेजन, बेस्ड डिजाइन एंड सिंपल फॉर्म प्लस फंक्शन. सिर्फ फॉर्म बनाना इज नॉट इम्पॉर्टेंट, क्या आइडिया था उसके बिहाइंड में, किसके लिए है, कहाँ से ओपन हो रहा है, क्या उसके फंक्शंस हैं, क्या उसकी यूसेज है, कैसे उसको यूज कर सकता है हर कोई. लाइक अ किड कैन, if the kid can open it, if the mother can open well. So these all areas you need to see when you are designing a product. Now next area could be symbols, icons and visual language. From here there were questions in 2021 also and 24 also. Emoji design, the question was related to sleep. Emoji should be designed on sleep. So of course this emoji which I have placed here is not designed on sleep. This is an example just which I am giving you, that how the execution should be. So practice area could be design emojis, like gestures and expressions are the important topic which is already available on my channel. You must go and watch that video and you'll get to know many things from there, that how to use gestures and how to use expressions on any character or any emoji or maybe a vegetable or a fruit or anything. Numbers as characters or objects. So there were these questions also in 2024 where some symbols and some shapes were given, and adding those shapes and symbols they had to make any utility product or maybe a automobile, or third option I don't remember. So this was the exact execution of one of my student who did make apron using these shapes. So these shapes were usually given. They were given on the paper of 2024 NIFT entrance exam. So these were used and combined and repeated, scaled up and scaled down, and then this product was made. Same goes for this product also. A jug was made keeping in mind these shapes. So you need to understand one thing, that when these shapes and these symbols are given, you are allowed to scale it up, scale it down. You are allowed to repeat it as number of times. So it is always mentioned in your question. All the instructions are usually mentioned in your questions, and you have to work or design accordingly. So there was one question more where the question was related to like you need to choose 2 or 3 numbers from 0 to 9, and then you had to represent any kids play area or something. So again this was also one of the question of NIFT, that was again based on your this symbols, icons and visual language. Moving forward, Indian context and culture. So this is one of the areas from where always the questions are asked in terms of poster design also, stamp design also, or maybe in any illustration design or maybe any product design. So this area you must be practicing. It appears indirectly every year in some of the questions. It can be related to festivals, it can be related to Indian users or the local relevance or the Indian art forms or maybe Indian dance forms. So these all areas you should know. So you must prepare Indian festivals, Indian daily life scenes, Indian problems and solutions, and cultural sensitivity. Now this was one of the question, a lighting equipment for an embroider. This was the last year question of NIFT, and this is one of the executions of my student who is now in NIFT Delhi. So it was done keeping in mind for the Indian embroider, but not only she kept in mind the Indian embroider, the technicalities of the Indian embroider, but she made this whole lighting fixture on the theme of embroidery. So it is very important how you take the question and how you do it by a storytelling. So again, not only this design, but the complete back view and the front view and the complete explanation was given for this execution. So it is very important, and that's how you should always do the concept and idea generation of your any solution. Again, this question was also on basis of cultural or thematical event of, like, the question could be from design inspiration. So fashion in Paris was chosen, and this pattern was made. So the grid question was differently asked this time. This time the grid wasn't made on the paper, but it was instructed that 6 into 6 inches box should be taken, and it should be divided into 2 into 2 inches. Now here many students did wrong when they divided the box into 2 into 2 centimeter. So guys, please firstly be aware that what the question demands. Also, you should know the basic things of design, that what are inches, what are centimeters, what is feet, what is millimeter. So these were the areas of which I wanted to give you a short explanation that you must practice. Now I'm going to talk about what not to focus on. Now there are many students who are very good at portraits, who are very good at painting, they are doing oil paintings and poster colors. Guys, let me be very clear that you do not, please do not use these mediums if you are preparing for any design entrance exam on national level. So hyper realistic portraits, no need, you don't need to practice them. Excessive shading, not needed. Complicated perspective, not needed. And extra elements on any composition or any perspective or any art form or anything, whatever you are making, is not needed. Copying Pinterest idea is again not needed, and fancy material without idea clarity. Just you're making something just because it's looking beautiful and you want to make it, doesn't make sense. So you have to keep in mind, if you are preparing for your design entrance exam, you don't need to do unrealistic, complicated or hyper realistic portraits or anything which is mentioned here. So all the best guys for your entrance exam. I hope my channel is helping you all a lot, and if you have any queries, any questions, please come to the comment section, put up your queries and comments there. We'll be happy to help you all. Till then, take care. If you want to come for mock, you can always come and register us on the number which is being flashed on the screen, and then you can get yourself registered for mock as well. So that's it. Take care. Bye-bye.